Hello, what's up, everybody? Uh, be honest with you, I'm just sitting here bored while these machines do some work. I got everything else caught up on the computer, so I thought I'd hop in here and see what you guys are up to, and maybe maybe just chill for a little while. So that's what's going on. If you're just getting here, if anybody shows up, if not, I'll just sit here and keep working. Nothing changes, right? So, well, somebody's like me out working and waiting on robots to finish, I guess. Hope the audio's not too terrible, guys. I got two lasers running in here. But yeah, that's what I'm up to right there, guys. I got the ASMR and the V35 cranking out cutting boards, and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I got all my emails checked. I got most of my messages replied to, so just chilling. Thought I'd come chill with you guys for a minute. Is the audio working? It looks like it is. I probably got some noise. What's up, Michael? How are you? Yeah, just hanging out. Like I said, I got this going on. So while the robots do the work, matter of fact, looks like one of them's done, so I get to swap that one out. So I'm gonna get over here and swap that out. See what this thing's doing. I had some bones going for my daughter, but let me swap this cutting board out. Give me just a second. I did have some. I'm making a skeleton for my daughter for a Halloween decoration, and I'm having to print like every bone, like as it goes. So that's basically having my printer tied up for a little while. But I've got like 5 of these cutting boards I got to get knocked out. Of course, I got a bunch of stove covers. So tonight, that's what I'm doing is messing with these. So that's what I'm doing right now. And now I've got to change the name on that one. So I just did Miles. So looks like Spackman is next. So we'll go change that right quick. Uh, all right, so yeah, guys. Once the V35 gets done, I have to swap another one out. But that's all I'm doing. I'm not sitting out here. Like I said, I got through with my internet stuff and just working on some projects. I just got bored, Robert. I need my cats don't talk back. I talk to them and they don't talk back. So I just got bored and thought I would see what you guys were up to, see if anybody had any questions while I'm out here working. It's like every night I'm out here until 10, 11 o'clock. So, well, not that kind of smoke, Robert. Not that kind. Speaking of smoke, I had to upgrade the fan in enclosure Zilla to a 6-inch. I've got it choked down to a 4-inch tube, but it seems to be working fine. And my little cheap shop vac that I used for this one over here bit the dirt after a little over a year's service. So I had to run to Walmart, grab another $40 shop vac to put in this enclosure for my exhaust. But I got all my exhaust back going so that I can get to making these cutting boards today. And it is time to reorder, guys. I'm down to like 3. So before I get another order, I'm going to have to, I think I may have already actually ordered some. I've just about got this on a scheduled order for Amazon to where like they just send them to me. I ain't got to order them. Like once a month, I get like 12. So, well, hello, Carl. How's it going? But now, guys, I just, like I said, out here working and figured maybe there was somebody else that was just kind of chilling in the shop working, and maybe y'all had some questions or something. I just got through putting that video out about the slate that I did last night. A few people's watched it. It ain't been out long, but I think it's got a few views so far. I'm looking at the screen, so I can't see the comments. Give me just a second. I got a light burn on my other one over there. But so far, it's been pretty uneventful. Had a little rain shower. That was good. The grass kind of needs that. It's been a little dry here for a while. What's up, Carrie? Yeah, guys, I'm swapping back between work screens and and you guys. So, yeah, the small enclosure. Uh-oh, hang on. Give me just a second. The V35 is done. I got to swap that out. So let me grab that right quick. Alright, give me just a second. Let me swap this design over. This one's the one I need to swap. So that one is. Let me blow this up. Need my library back. Alright, let me get this logo out of here. I've got two different designs that I sell to this company, and since I got the V35, I haven't set up a jig for it, so I got to go in here and set this up. Let's see. This is my Home Sweet Home board. They order probably as many of these as they do the regular ones. So, and 150 millimeters a second. Hit it. There we go. Back to burning, guys. So let's get back to the other camera. Let's see. But yeah, Kevin, this small enclosure, I use a small shop vac. I just take the bag out of it. All I want is the blower, and it uses, it's like an 1.5-inch tube, so it's kind of compact. It comes in from outside. It comes in through here, and I've also got a hole to where the plug for said shop vac comes into the shop, and I've got this switch right here on my table that is wired to a receptacle underneath the table. And so when I flip this switch, it powers the plug, the little shop vac kicks on outside, and it sucks the air from inside this enclosure outside. When I did my first enclosure, that was the setup that I ran, and it's just, to be honest with you, I was gonna put a 4-inch fan in this enclosure, but when I got to thinking about it, I'm like, as much money as these machines make for me, a $45 fan that lasts a year and a half, a $45 shop vac, it's just so simple. I would just take the hose that's already out there, or loose from the dead one, plug it into the new one, shove the cord through the hole in the wall, plug it into this plug, and I'm back going. It's easy. And I was kind of tight for space under here, so I didn't want to have to run a bunch of ductwork and stuff. So I just decided to go back with a shop vac. But it's been working for me fine for 2.5 years. But this is the second time I've had to replace the shop vac. It's rough on them running as much as they do. I looked for one that was brushless, but without getting a battery operated, I couldn't find one. So I'm just gonna have to deal with the little Walmart, whatever you call it. What's that? Hyper Tough. I'm just gonna have to deal with them dying on me. What's up, Carrie? Again, I think I spoke to you a minute ago. Finally broken the acrylic. Cool. You doing it on a CO2 or on a diode? All right. So Dave, hello, Dave. Not a name I'm familiar with. So if you're new, welcome. If you're not, I'm sorry. I'm getting old and I don't recognize names sometimes. Have yet to fire up a little bit. Dave, it's not that intimidating. as long as you put it together correctly, as long as you set up light burn, just run through the setup and make sure you didn't miss anything. Just get in there and get your feet wet. You can start out practicing with just old scrap wood. You can use cardboard. You can use poster board. Stay away from plastics. It's okay, but you need to make sure you know what you're cutting if you start messing with plastics. Stick with cardboard and wood's really good for starting out. Cardboard's cheap. If you buy something, it's usually in a cardboard box. And just make sure you don't leave it unattended though. Cardboard will go up like a Roman candle. Yes, those are bamboo cutting boards. I had a customer, the customer that I've got, that's what they wanted. She sent me a picture. It's a business. They order probably 4 a week from me. And she sent me a picture and said, hey, can you make these for our customers? And of course, yeah, I mean, it's bamboo especially. So I order bamboo. I order them in I think they come in a bundle of 12, in a box of 12. They're individually wrapped, so they keep from getting dusty when they're out here. They don't get dirty. I've only had a problem with maybe 1 or 2 of them not, in the long run, not working out the way I wanted them to. They're a little ununiform, like some are maybe a millimeter or 2 difference in size, but for what it is, and I've yet to have anybody come back and tell me that, hey, mine was 1 millimeter out of square or whatever. But it works out pretty well. But yeah, they're bamboo. Now, these have not been to the sink yet. I take them in the house and I use dish detergent and I wash them to get, like this one especially, the V35, I'm probably still a little hot on the V35, but once I wash it, this black charring will kind of tone down a little bit. It'll be more of a gray. But this is the Ashmer P2 that I run on these, and I've got it, I've been doing a lot of them with it, so I've got it kind of dialed in where I like it. It gives me that nice brown finish and it doesn't wash off. But I order these in bulk from Amazon, and I can drop a link down below. That's so cliche, but yeah, I can. Give me just a minute. Let me put these up and I'll drop a link. But yeah, that's how I get by with using diode machines and being able to turn these things out like that. Because if I was really in a pinch and didn't want to just sit and chill with you guys while these finish, I technically could. I could do one of these in the CO2, and I could also set up another machine over here and do them on it. But I'm not in that big a hurry. The profit margin on these things is worth me sitting here for an hour or two to wait on them to get done. So let me find my order, and I'll give you the link from my order, because like I said, I just re-upped. And I've bought, if you look at my cart, I've bought several boxes of these. Klein is also using them, and he's had good luck with them. So I'll drop the link right here for the bamboo cutting boards. That link, guys, is for the bamboo cutting boards that I use. They are, hang on, I'll tell you how much they are. I didn't even mention that. The way I figured out, my cost ends up, they come in a box of 12. They're $49.99. So basically, I got $4.50 in each one when I put them in the laser. Typically, depending on the design, who the customer is, if it's like the customer that I have that orders so many, I sell those for $35 a piece, tax included. So basically, I just reverse engineered it to where it comes out exactly $35 after I add the tax. Of course, there's a couple of dollars worth of tax on there that I have to charge them. But that's a pretty good profit margin, especially when it's the same design over and over again. At events, sometimes you're not going to necessarily get that at events, but usually the $30 to $35 price range, you can get rid of them pretty well. So, yeah, a lot of the cutting boards I do, guys, y'all know I've got my own sawmill, so I cut my own like maple, oak, pecan, hickory, walnut. I cut my own wood for those. Those are not $35 a piece. For some of the, the really good woods that I have, I mean, you're looking at closer to $45 to $50 depending on the complexity of the design and the complexity of the engraving they want on it. So these are just, I can't build those kind of cutting boards on the production level. And that's not what they asked for. They asked for bamboo cutting boards with a handle. So that's what they got. And these work really good. What's up, Steve? How are you, man? Over here cranking out some, oh, got another one done. Cranking out some cutting boards over here. All right, so I'm gonna make this one a home sweet home as well. So I'm gonna have to edit that. So to the screen. All right, so I cheat a little bit. See, I've got this Acemer Peak 33. So all I gotta do is go over here and Acemer Peak 33. Oh, I haven't built one with the home sweet home, so I'm just gonna save that one real quick. Get rid of this. Oh, gotta unlock it. And, oh, need my library back. Cut boards. All right. A little centering action there. And ready to go. All right. So, yeah, that's about, yeah, Carl, like I said, math's not my thing, but it's about $4.50 is what I figured my cost is. By the time you figure electrical use and all that, wear and tear, you know. But I've got the, oh, and y'all be happy to know too, I have put a lens. I've put a lens on my enclosure camera so that you don't get that crazy blue flash when you're watching the laser work. I actually took that off of the Acemer when I, you know, forcibly removed that, you know, aggravating little cover. There was a nice piece of yellow glass in there that I attached to my camera using some tape, and so now you don't get that blue flash when you're watching that camera. But I thought that was pretty cool. I'm trying to protect you guys' eyes so that the blue light doesn't come through the camera and hurt you. So I put that piece of glass on there. What's up, Chris? Man, you up early this morning, ain't you? But let's see what else we got. Hello, Kai. How are you? Don't recognize the name, so if you're new checking out my lives, y'all don't forget Sunday night. I'll have Steve in here to help entertain everybody. But I'm just out here cranking out some jobs, and thought I'd bring you guys along. I've been playing with the Sane Smart CNC a little bit more, and of course I did some of you may have already saw the video on the coasters that I did. And I've also got my Monport now to where I can actually jig stuff out in it, which is awesome, because between the lift bed, the added air assist, been able to adjust the focus with the bed, and now I can do jigs in there too. The Monport has gotten a lot more useful. So I'm gonna be trying to do a video on that maybe this week. I do have some stove covers I've got to get done. I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 8 stove covers I got to get built, or at least I got to build like maybe 4 of them, just to make sure I don't get caught behind. Because 4 of them just came in. The other 4, they've been up there for a minute, so I got to get those done. Typically, I have about 3 to 4 weeks before I have to have those turned in to my customer, but sometimes they call me and they're like, hey, change the plan, we need this one in like tomorrow. Yeah, I was actually a little shocked that at the results that I got. I was kind of rooting for the fiber, I'm not gonna lie. I figured because it's a rock, and technically iron is kind of like a rock, I thought maybe it would have a little more variety, a little more color, better contrast, but I was mistaken. Aesmer P2 33 watt did a really, really good job. I was gonna do it in the V35 also, but it's the same wavelength laser. It's basically the same output. Uh, I don't know, the Aesmer may be a little hotter than the V35, to be honest with you. But I just decided to use the smaller machine. It was a little quicker, getting everything set up and all. Just finished a live with Garrett from for CNC. Cool. Did you do a live, Chris? I didn't know you had a channel, or were you watching? Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, I know iron is more of a mineral than a rock, but I still thought that now I did find that I can make glass with a CO2 laser, because that's got to be what that is, guys. I mean, it's really, really hard. It's crystalline in nature. You can see the lights reflecting on it. It looks like you glued little shards of glass to it. So I'm guessing that whatever the slate's composed of, which is some kind of sedimentary something, I guess the amount of heat was kind of changed it over into something similar to glass, which is kind of amazing because I didn't know it would get that hot, but I guess it does. But yeah, this is people ask all the time about running multiple lasers on one computer. There it is, guys. Proof is in the pudding right there. I got two machines running, both of them running a file same time, and I'm also streaming to you guys. So yeah, I could run more machines if I wanted. I could actually be doing a CNC right now if I wanted. David Allen, I tell you, that's a really good name there, right there, David. I mean, I'm gonna have to put you on the screen just because that is a really good name. There's a lot of really great people named David Allen. And by a lot of, I mean, you know, me. So, well, I guess I could bring it out here and set it up to do a video. It's hard for me to, I've got it in the house because it's so dusty out here, guys. Oh, I do have it now. I haven't got my Fusion. I haven't got my Sonic pad yet. I do have a Sonic pad ordered for it, but I've got it now to where I can actually monitor it remotely, and it's actually through printing, so I should probably go inside and swap it out. But this is the pelvic bone for a skeleton that I printed. So I'm using one of my old security cameras that I didn't use out here at the shop. I replaced it with some better ones. I've got it sitting in there right now. I made that little mount for that little security camera, mounted it in there to where I could use it while I'm out here. I can be watching to see when the engraved gets, or the print gets through. But once the Sonic pad gets here, I've got a Logitech camera that I plan on putting in there. I'm gonna use that same bracket because I made it to where I can use the little screw-ins that I use for all my other camera gear. I can connect to that little bracket I made. And I'm gonna put that camera in there and hopefully do some. I want to do some of the cool, you know, where it looks like it's building up, some of the cool videos like that. But I may bring it out here one day and let you guys see it. Most of you probably have at least the same machine, if not a better one. And I am by no means a professional at that. I am still learning. I do make like cool stuff, you know. It's really handy for me for tools and brackets and, you know, parts that I need. So that's kind of why I got it. But yeah, Brent, I might play around with the idea. Might bring it out here one day and set it up. I don't want to leave it out here because of all the dust. I'm afraid it'll mess with the filament as it's, you know, have a bunch of dust in it or whatever. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate you. Just don't learn any bad habits. The pelvic bones for the skeleton. My daughter's in a pumpkin making contest, which she won last year at her work. And they have like, at her work, they like put money in a pot. And of course, y'all know she went to college for art, so she's very artsy. And they make this pumpkin, and then whoever's pumpkin gets picked by the customers that come into the business, they vote on which pumpkin they think is best, and whoever wins gets like a pot of money. So of course she comes home and goes, Dad, I need some stuff from my pumpkin, and so that's what the pelvic bone's for. But I wish I could print me a new one. I probably need a new lower back. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I can turn that machine off. I think that's, once I get this other home sweet home, I should be good. The V35 for some reason is making them really black, but once I wash them, they turn brown. I don't know what's. I'm gonna have to play around with that. I did a power and speed test, and this is the right power for the depth and everything that I want, but it's just, it makes it more black for some reason. Once you wash it, it'll turn brown. But the P2 makes them brown right off the machine. I don't know. You got me. But we can close the V35 now. I've powered it off. So now all I've got left is the P2. No, Joseph, I don't get any of the winnings. I actually got a finder's fee because I sent her to my dealership to buy a car, and then I had to sign the check and give it to her. I don't get money. Yeah, Dottie, I agree. When it gets that easy, I think I'll just get like a whole new lower back, because I still haven't got mine completely worked out. But I will say this, guys. I went from like having to almost bite my tongue to keep from squalling like a baby because I was hurting so bad, to now I can tell there's still something going on back there, but the leg pain and all of the hurting is very manageable. I've even gotten to where I forget to take any Advil or anything in the mornings, and I've actually made it a couple of days without taking any Advil or anything like that. So I'm hoping that everything will work out. So far, Brent, I haven't, but I'm probably going to. I haven't moved the machine. I found a nice steady place to put it and put it there. It has the auto leveling, but I do need to run that because I think I've done probably 30 prints on it so far with it sitting there. So I probably need to run the auto leveling just to make sure. But right now it's doing a really good job. I haven't had any problems with any of the prints. The only problems I've even had with the machine was when I first got the Creality enclosure. I closed it up in there, and I did not realize that machine would heat the inside of that little tent up to the point to where the PLA was actually like really, really malleable, and it was bending as it went into the extruder, and the extruder couldn't work properly. But I just unzipped it, folded the top back, and it works fine. But I did learn that if I am printing like ABS or something that requires a better temperature, that I can close that thing up and it'll actually heat that material up. But I do plan on putting a direct extruder on it before too long, and possibly another Z-axis if I start seeing problems with just having one. But I can see where the direct extruder would definitely be an improvement to it. So yeah, I've got a TINS unit. I bought myself an inversion table, and I've been doing these weird yoga stretches things, and I haven't picked up anything heavy, which is tough when you're me, because I've always been able to like just grab, arm loads of 2x4s or arm loads of whatever and just move it, and I'm having to refrain from doing that. I get a little frustrated sometimes when I have to call Brandy because it's something that's heavier than I need to be picking up, with my back still kind of giving me problems. Kind of feel like a little bit of a, pansy for that, but I don't want to take a chance on re-injuring it because I think I may actually be on my way to recovery with it. Brent, not yet. It's still in the 90s here. And sawmilling is just not that fun when you're sweating your rear end off, and you're just because when you're sawmilling, you don't want to wear tennis shoes and shorts because you get sawdust all down in your socks. So I prefer to wear pants, and by pants I mean as opposed to shorts. Some of you, but once it starts cooling off, Klein has agreed to come over here and work with me on the sawmill, so I don't have to like snatch around on anything if my back's still giving me some fits. I do have a 50 horsepower tractor with a front end loader, so as far as the logs go and toting the wood, it'll do the heavy lifting, but you do have to, manipulate the log and turn it and stuff like that. And so I want to make sure I'm completely, or not completely, but I want to make sure I'm back to semi-normal before I start snatching on logs. I'm really trying to avoid any kind of surgeries or anything. Yeah, Janet, if you're sawmilling this time of year, mine is up in the woods, so it's surrounded by trees. It faces the sawmill. The opening in my sawmill shop faces the west. That's generally where our breeze comes from. So it's not terrible, but it gets hot. Like, because I've had to dig into the side of this big hill back here, and so it still gets really, really hot and humid right there. I prefer it in the wintertime. When it gets cool, I promise you guys will get to see the mill. I do got to go clean it up and make sure it works. Make sure squirrels haven't eaten it up. But hopefully this winter or this fall, I'll be able to do that. I've actually got to go get some honey, and I'll be doing that probably in the next week. 49, and you don't even have air conditioning, Steve. That's the outside temperature. It's pathetic. It's 91 down here, and you got 49 at night up there. But I do plan on doing some honey. Abby is going to join me. She's into like making her own candles and her own chapstick and stuff like that. And so she likes to get the wax from the honeybees to make those things. And so hopefully I ordered another bee suit because she wore my spare bee suit the other day and the zipper broke on it. So I didn't want her to have a bad experience with the honeybees. So I ordered myself a new suit, which is a little bit bigger and has a different veil. And I'm gonna let her have the one that I've been using. And we're gonna go into the hive probably maybe one day next week, get some honey out. And I've got a new honey extractor right over there that I'm dying to try out, but it's kind of hard to try out a honey extractor without frames of honey. So you got to get that done. Yeah, Steve, I have that problem with team lift too. By team, I don't think they mean a guy and two cats. But, oh, wait a minute, this thing's doing. I can turn some of this noise off now. Oh man, it's much quieter in here. Voila! Home sweet home. There you go, guys. Straight off of the machine. Bamboo burning has a unique smell. But there you go. That's what I was working on tonight. I was going to do some stove covers, but these needed to be done, so I got them done. This is one from last week. It's a beautiful cutting board, guys, but Miles was supposed to be spelled with a Y and not an I. So this is a test board now. I got the back of it I can test on. Oh. Well, Brent, there's you talking about this one? The classic? This is the original design, and they should be on my channel. Hang on, I gotta save this design I made here. They should be on my channel down below in the shopping section or whatever. I get them through spring because, guys, my channel is so small and pitiful that I can't get a lot of the other merch stores until I get to like 100,000 or whatever. But I don't make any money off of them. I think it makes me make a penny or so just to say that I'm making money because that's the way they operate. But I've got, like I said, I've got a bunch of them, different hoodies and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I've got to order my daughter a new hoodie. She is growing like kudzu and has outgrown the one I bought her last year. And she was going to come to the event with us at Pedals from the Past the other day and realized that she can't fit in her hoodie. And I know what you're thinking. It's 90 degrees. Why does a kid need a hoodie? It's something to do with these 15-year-old and below kids that they wear hoodies year round. It blows my mind. but they do. Uh, if I can find my spring shop, I know I've got a link to it here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. I'll drop a link down there below, uh, so you guys can find it. But well, I said I would. It's on my YouTube channel. Give me a minute. Let me find it. Customization. I think it's in here. I think. Yep. Well, maybe. Yep. Here it is. Here it is. All right. I got the link, guys. I'm coming back with the link. Well, Steve, you beat me to it. I couldn't see that because I had my dashboard from spring up. But yeah, those, like I said, that's these shirts here with the collector on the back. The other ones that I got made, I kind of like those. Those are, I'm assuming they would have 3X. I wear 2X. I think they got bigger than that. Let me look and see. But yeah, it's spring, so it's like this big company that's all they do is like apparel and shirts. The green, the traditional green, which is what I'm wearing now. Let's see what sizes it comes in. They have listed small, medium, large, XL, 2X, and 3X. So I guess 3X is as big as they go, which 3X is pretty good size shirt. It's like a penny. I mean, seriously, I've had this spring for over a year, and I haven't even made enough off of it to get a payment. So I mean, Steve can have all the money if he wants. I think I've ordered more shirts myself to wear than other people have. It's not like this big thing that I sell a bunch of them. I wish it was. That'd be kind of nice, but I buy them for myself. I did have a few people that, because the first batch I had them made locally, and then I had some folks that was like, "Hey, I'd like to have one of the shirts," and so I had to come up with a way that you guys could order them. I got cats sneaking past me over here. I had to come up with a way that you guys could order them and get them shipped because the local person that I was using at the time did not ship. The new shirts that I get from Little Bit of Style, she will ship, and that's why I kind of flip back to her because she's a local maker. She's a hobbyist, just like most of us are, and she just does it to support her habits. But yeah, there's Fluffies over there and Callie. They tied up in a fight earlier while I was, or one of them did. I don't know who was fighting. It was. I'm sure Fluffy was involved in the fight. Probably Fluffy and Callie, if I was guessing. They fight more than the other one, but Tiger does actually fight with them sometimes too. But the wood grain, Pete, those are not on spring. That's some that my friend here locally makes. I'll get you a link to her page. I've got the wood grain. I've got several colors, and she can do a lot of different designs and stuff. But you just have to tell her. You just have to tell her that you want one of my shirts, and you can tell her you want the wood grain, and she can do different designs and stuff. But that's her right there that I just sent you. Hang on, I'll show you the screen here. But this is her Facebook page, and she does a lot of different designs and stuff like that. She does a lot of local stuff. We met through doing events together, but if you message her and just tell her you want a Clack Shack shirt, and you can tell her which one you want, what design. I'm a little hurt that she didn't have a Clack Shack section, so we're gonna have to discuss that with her. But these are some of her other shirts, and she'll do any kind of creative stuff that you want. But anything outside of the ones that I have in the video that I did, anything outside of that, like any kind of new designs or whatever, she does have to kind of get my approval. Not that I don't trust you guys, but I don't want my picture and my logo associated with things that aren't in my belief system, so to speak. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would do me that way, but just to be sure, I have. She's got to approve, whatever type of shirts that folks come up with. But let's see here. I've got a video that shows the different shirts. If I can find it, it's been a minute since I put that video out, hasn't it? And my buddy Klein was over here with me. So those of y'all that know Klein or know of him, he was here, and he likes making fun of me and daring me to do stuff. But there's the video with the different kinds of shirts that she makes. Those are in there. But yeah, this whole back thing, guys, I don't know how people live with it for very long. It's irritating. But yeah, Steve, you can have what would that be? Like, I don't know, a fifth of a penny, point 0.20 cents. So I guess if I sell, I just sell a bunch of them before you get a penny, Steve. She can do that. She's actually got the one that says Clack Attack 2020, established 2022 or something like that. Uh, she's got that one. So hang on, I'll try to pull the video up. I can show you. I don't have the pictures with me, but I can get the video going. Hang on. Mute that. All right, so this is the video, and we can go through here. That, guys, is not, that shirt was not intended for me. You have to watch the video, but Klein dared me to wear it, and like, he's right here. You can see him stick his head in there here in just a minute. But that was actually a shirt that my daughter wanted, a shirt with her cats on it, and everybody was like, "We need a fluffy shirt." See, that's the guy that made me wear it right there. That's Klein. And but I have the camouflage one was pretty cool. I didn't have a problem with the camouflage. This one's kind of got like blues and grays. It matches my Carhartt stuff because it's got that khaki looking gray. That was probably could go for a size larger, but we figured the shirt size. Now that one I actually do like. I don't usually wear color a lot, but I do like the flag. So that one was pretty cool. She sells those also, and then like for hunting season, you got that one. You know, if you want to go get the tree stand and not necessarily be seen. And then there was that guy talks a lot. There was a gray one, and that's yeah. There's a one that's got the clack attack on the back of it. So that she does have the graphics, and she can put those graphics on whatever shirt you want. There's a baby blue one, which Klein stole after the video. He is a North Carolina fan, and so he took the baby blue one before he left here. And I think Brandy has laid claim to the gray one, so I'm left with the wood grain ones that I had, and the flag and everything. So, but you can message her and see what she's got. She'll let you order whatever you want. But yeah, I guess I do need to get her to kind of we could play around with the designs and come up with a little more Clack Attack based stuff. That would be cool. But it does have Clack Attack 2022 or whatever, which is 2022 is when I actually went and got my LLC and started a business. I actually started YouTube in like I don't know whenever I got an Android phone is when I started playing around with YouTube. It was a lot of not woodworking related stuff until I got into the drones, and then I started doing drone videos, which I still have some of those out there. They're old. And I think like 10 people's watched them. But there's still some of them floating around. But anyway, guys, any questions, comments, concerns, other than, I mean, this is kind of almost turned into a swag commercial for Clack Shack shirts. Which is fine, but I don't make any money off of either one of those shirts. I mean, like I said, maybe a penny or two off of the t-shirts from spring, but I told Megan, that's her name. I told Megan that when y'all come to her to get a shirt, I'm not getting any money off of it. I don't want any money off of it. I want you guys to have a shirt that you like. I want her to be able to make a little money off of her hobby and her side hustle. So I'm out of it. Deal with her and whatever she charges you guys, that's what she charges. She's a hobbyist just like the rest of us, trying to make a little money out of her living room or wherever she does her shirts. I really don't know. Never been there. But she doesn't have a storefront. She just does it out of her house. Where do you source your acrylic for your diodes? You can get it through Amazon, but I buy packs a lot of times. But if you buy the packs that I get, I will tell you some of the colors the diode is not going to cut. You're going to have to go and just pick certain colors. If you stick with black acrylic, you can cut it with a diode all day long. It cuts black acrylic probably cuts better than plywood does on most of these diodes. So if you get 3 millimeter black acrylic, I would safely say you would have an easier time cutting it than you would 1/4 inch wood. Uh, it doesn't over melt as bad. It doesn't take a lot of power to cut. It just does a really good job. And I get a lot of it from a local guy, my buddy over at CNC Trophy, Tim. He buys this stuff in a 4x8 sheet. And matter of fact, I've got like a half a sheet up there I gotta go get. So Tim, if you're watching, I hadn't forgot. I just gotta take my truck to go get it. But he buys this stuff in a 4x8 sheet. He has a CO2 laser. He has a sign making business, and he does this stuff for a living. I do help him out with jobs from time to time, and a lot of times when people want me to do jobs that I don't have time for because I'm busy making content or doing other jobs, then I send work to Tim. So we just kind of work together on things. But he will sell me this stuff at a little bit better rate than what I can get on Amazon. And he's a local guy, and like I said, fellow business owner, member of the Merchants Association, which we have meetings and discuss business transactions and stuff with. So I get a lot of this from him, but it works really well. I make signs, card holders, brackets, pretty much anything out of the black. And it does a really good job of cutting. It cuts smooth, it cuts clean. Now, it is very dusty. But if you stick with 3 millimeter black, you really can't go wrong with a diode. But any other color, I've got a video on that. Just go on my channel and you can go through the video and just search for keyword acrylic. There are some colors that you're going to want to stay away from with a diode. Now, if you have a CO2 at your disposal, then buy the pack, and what you can't use with the diode, you can use with the CO2. That's what I do. But if you don't have a CO2, then steer clear of those colors. No, Chris, I haven't got bold enough to do any metal yet. And to be honest with you, I just don't have any chunks of metal laying around. I do have one little small piece of aluminum I thought about playing with. But I got a buddy of mine who does, he makes things. We'll just leave it at that. He makes things. And he has a lot of like blocks of aluminum and stuff like that where he's got pieces he's trimmed off. I thought about trying to get a piece from him to try my hand at it. But metal's just not really, I mean, other than maybe a bracket or something that I might need, I just don't see me doing a whole lot of metal. Because I would want to stick with like aluminum or brass or maybe like some copper. Wait a minute. Guys, I've got a whole bunch of aluminum that I melted down in my little smelter that was cans. I have to remember where I put those. But I've got like a 5-gallon bucket full of aluminum muffins around here somewhere. I have to look for those. Because I made a, like back when this was a dirt floor shop, I had a bunch of cans that I wanted to melt down to where I could have some metal ingots in case, things happen and I needed to make, broadheads or projectiles or whatever. So I melted down a bunch of the aluminum cans into muffins. I got a bucket of muffins sitting around here somewhere. Okay, did I get disconnected or did y'all just quit commenting? Not sure which. It says y'all are still here and it says I'm still alive. So we're just going to go with that. Any other questions? I can't stay out here too late tonight, guys, because I got to work again in the morning. But yeah, I have lots of questions. 24 by 24 work area? Oh, that is very limited there, Debbie. Very limited. Your closest thing that you're going to get with 24 by 24 is going to be either a Niji or a Sculpt Fun. So go look at the Sculpt Fun S30 Ultra and the Niji, what was it? I forget what it's called now. Anyway, Niji 3 and the Niji 4. I think both of those are going to be right around 24 inches. I don't know for sure work area wise if the Sculpt Fun's going to quite make it, but Steve just did a review on the Niji, or is doing a review. I don't think he's put it out yet. But Steve's doing a review on the Niji, and I had one that I did a review on that was a 10 watt, and both of those would give you a 24 by 24 work area. Yeah, EB says that it's 35 by 36 inches work area with the extensions. Mine's the ultra. Mine's not the extended, but mine's the ultra, and it's pretty big. Oh, I can go see if I can measure it. It's hanging right over here. Hang on. Yes. Yeah, I thought it was close. This Ultra is 29 and a half wide on the front. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll do 24 by 24, Debbie. I did a video on it, and if you'll go back, when I'm not live and you want to look at it, just search my content for Sculpt Fun, because that's the only Sculpt Fun I've had a camera. 23-inch work area is what I've got listed as the title of the video. So I'm guessing the actual working area of this 20 watt is 23 inches. But there are options like EB said that you could extend one of the other machines. And Steve says the Niji is 32 wide and 18.5 deep. But I think you can extend the Niji as well, maybe. But those are going to be the if you're wanting a 24 by 24 square, those are going to be the two that you're going to want to probably look at that would take minimal modifications to get them that big. Yeah, the EB saying that the Sculpt Fun is 35 by 36. So. Yeah, Sculpt Fun's not a bad machine. I've got the S30. It's only a 20 watt, but it does a really good job. If you're not going to be doing a whole lot of cutting, then you get more work area with the smaller modules. I will tell you that with my experience, because a lot of times they use the same frame for different size modules, but the different size module takes up a little more room, so you'll lose 20 or 30 millimeters. That's right, Brian. You're gonna OD on clack this week. Steve says you can modify the Niji to 40 inches deep. So Niji and Sculpt Fun are probably going to be your best bets for that work area size. And they both offer anywhere from 10 to, I know with the Sculpt Fun you can get up to a 30, and I'm pretty sure the Niji 4. I think it may either already have a 30 watt or they're working on one, but I know they both have 20 watts. Yeah, EB, the 20 watt module is pretty cool. I did notice on the frame where they've got multiple holes for the stop screws for the limit switches. So I'm assuming that they use the same frame and you have to put it in a different hole like a lot of the other machines do. Chad, that is a very, very, as Steve would say, it depends. I'm not going to say you can't. There's a lot of variables. What do you consider make a living, first of all? If you have like excessive bills and you expected a 6-figure income with an X-Tool D1, probably not going to happen. Now, if you had several of them and you did, woodworking and other things, then, you probably could. But your best bet, because everybody's different, what I can do with a machine and what Steve can do and what Brent or Brad or Chris, every one of us do things differently. The only real way to know what you can do is get in there and do it. You're going to want to make sure you're not getting into an oversaturated market where you are. And if you are, you got to figure out how to kind of step out away from the crowd and do your own thing. Because, the custom work and venues and wedding gifts and customized stuff, that's where the money's at. The cookie cutter stuff that I sell at events and stuff like that, I mean, those help keep like money coming in, but you're not gonna. That's not where you're gonna get the most of your money. Uh, let's see. I saw where who was it? Brad or somebody asked me how easy the V2. There it is, Brent. I won't know how easy the V2 assembly was. The assembly basically consists of open the box. Now you kind of need to buddy up on getting it out of the box because the gantry is connected to the base. So I had my daughter like hold the gantry while I picked the base up out of the box, or you could I guess you could just cut the box out from around it. But once you do that, you sit the gantry over to the top of the machine, and I think there's 4 screws that goes in through there, and the assembly's done. I mean, I think there's some zip ties, a little cable management, but the assembly's done. It's basically put together in the box when you get it. But then I went a little step further after reading some reviews and listening to some guys that know a lot more about 3D printing than I do. And I went ahead and adjusted everything. I made sure that the belts were tight. I made sure the eccentric wheels were riding the way they needed to. I checked everything. And then I got it to where I was going to be using it at. And I adjusted the springs to get the bed level by hand best I could using the sheet of paper. And then after I did that, I ran the auto bed leveling on it, and it's been running like a dream ever since. So, Brad, I don't have the Adam Stack A30. Klein took that to his house when I took it out of this enclosure. He was over here, and he had a 20 watt that he was using, which was the Whizmaker. And he wanted to upgrade to a 30 watt, so Klein's got it at his house using it. But it's still up and going. He's got it using it for the moment. He does a lot. Klein does a lot of overflow work for me. I send him jobs because a lot of times I have jobs coming in that I don't have time to do. Had 2 people contact me today, and I sent one to CNC Trophy, and I told the other one that I would send them over to Klein because I just don't have time. With my customers that I've got established, my work schedule right now, I don't have time to keep up the jobs that come in. And the more events I do, and the more people know what I do here in the shop, the more orders keep coming in. And until I retire, I just don't have the time. So Klein's kind of my overflow guy so that he can support his tool addiction as well. And he uses a lot of the machines that I have. Once I upgrade, he gets the leftovers. He comes over here more or less and just swaps them out from time to time. Let's see here. No longer being made. Yeah, Brian, that's one approach. My wife probably wouldn't go for that. I mean, just it all depends. You got to get the customers. You got to have. There's got to be somewhere that you can liquidate whatever it is you're making. But I mean, there's a lot of variables, and I do not like giving financial advice, especially when I don't know your entire situation. If, like I said, some people's idea of a living is different than mine. Where I live, I mean, the way I live, I don't live lavishly. I don't have fancy stuff. I mean, you see this. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a little bit bigger shop, but this shop has actually served me well, and I'm really thankful that I've been blessed enough to have what I have. The Ender 3 Max Neo. Yeah, I think the assembly on all the Enders now are basically the same because the only difference between mine and a regular Ender is there's a few upgrades with the way it feeds. The head I think is a little different as far as the hot end goes, and all that. So I mean, I don't think the assembly would be any different. I haven't put one of them together, but from the videos that I did watch doing my research, the Ender 3, whatever the designation is after that, is pretty much the same frame. Well, Brian, me and him's been friends for a long time. We met probably about 18 years ago. Klein was a volunteer reserve officer in one of the small departments here where I live. And he actually had a U.S. Marshal. And this is a funny story. But he had a U.S. Marshal he pulled over one night that had a little too much to drink. and decided that she didn't want to go to jail. Little did Klein know she was a like master jujitsu instructor, and so she kicked the crap out of him. And I mean, kicked the crap out of him. And so, needless to say, she ended up going to jail. It was a big stink. I mean, she was a marshal. She was active marshal. So it was a big stink. And he was in the academy at the time and was right there at that threshold where his department had allowed him to ride by himself, but he really probably shouldn't have been. So the marshal complained, and basically they were going to fire him if he didn't, if he couldn't continue to work and ride by himself. So the department was going to fire him because they couldn't work him by himself. But I was a supervisor on night shift, worked for the county. And so me and a bunch of my guys basically volunteered that on our nights off, we would go ride with him so that he could continue to work and not have to get fired until he could get to that point in the academy to where he was good. And so we did that for several weeks. I would go ride with him on my off days, and I'd go sleep in the passenger side because I wasn't getting paid. So I'd sleep in the passenger side, and when we got a call or something, he'd reach over and slap me, and we'd go catch the call. And then later on, Klein ended up coming to work for me and worked for me for 6 or 7 years. So we go way back. It's not like I just picked a random person. we go back. We go way back. Well, Chris, I appreciate you just loving to have self-supporting hobbies. That's kind of where I started out. Mine's grown a little bit from there. I actually do come out a little bit to the positive now. Not just terribly. I'm no danger of buying a tour bus or anything, guys, but I do come out a little positive on my builds and stuff. But it is, like I said, I'm out here every night till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Weekends, I'm out here every minute that I can. So, it takes work. It takes dedication. It takes commitment to do it because there's some days I don't feel like being out here. Even though I love what I'm doing, there's days where you're like, man, I just would rather just sit and watch TV or something. But then I sit down to watch TV and I think about how far behind I'm going to get. So I come out here and get to work. Brent, what I'm using is the Creality PLA that Creality makes. They sell it in a bundle, and you can't smell it. You can't even hear the machine running really until it quits printing. When it's printing, it's really quiet. Now, when it gets through the job, the cooling fan cuts on, and it gets to where you can actually notice it then. But it's been running in my house now for 2 or 3 weeks, and my wife, she says that she can't even tell it's running. So it's not loud. It doesn't generate any odors. The PLA is a byproduct of some type of plant. It is completely biodegradable, non-toxic, blah, 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 according to Creality. But other than that, Creality says it's non-toxic. I can't smell it. I haven't had any side effects, so I think we're good. Lasering costs are less. Quilting cost. Yeah, now quilting can be expensive. Quilting can be expensive. Well, thank you there, Pete, Debbie. See, I get so confused. I'm hoping I'm not calling Debbie Pete or Pete Debbie, but, just reading it. Are you getting hit with the invalid traffic? No, I did lose like 40 subscribers on the 15-minute ride home from work today. I don't know what that was about. I checked my subscribers when I got in the truck as I was waiting to leave work, and I got home, and when I come out here in the shack, I refreshed my app, and like 40 subscribers had disappeared. I was over like 15,906, and it dropped me back to like 15,860 something. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if I just made that many people mad or if I just had a really bad video that finally got out there. I don't know what that was. But I did lose a bunch of subscribers today. So, like I said, I don't think it was me. I like to think it was not me, but we'll see. But I'm still trying to get back up. I'm at 15,875 now. I was at 15,906 when I left work. So, I'm going the wrong way, guys. I'm going the wrong way. But anyway, it's been a little bit over an hour, and it's getting late, guys. Anybody got any questions or anything before I bail out of here? There goes that guy on that motorcycle. We're gonna find him stuck in a tree someday. Brent, I don't do it. I'm very safety conscious, and to be honest with you, that's not something I want to 3D print. I would rather that be made from real metal, or at least a polymer by somebody that has experience with making stuff with polymers. I think 3D printers are handy for making little small tools and clips and brackets and stuff that is not. If it fails, your life is not dependent upon it. I think 3D printers are great for that. And I'm sure there's 3D printers out there that would be great for things that are important, but I can't afford them. So I use them for like non-critical things. I don't use it for stuff that if it breaks, it's gonna destroy something or anything. Not until I get a little more confident. But I mean, to each his own. I don't like those three-letter alphabet guys showing up at my place, so I try to stay away from. Now, tools like an assembly tool, yeah, that'd be easy. I don't know that it'd be strong enough if you get one of those that I've run across over the years to where the pin's nearly snapped in half and you have to get a punch a hole to it. But for general maintenance, I think you could 3D print one that would work pretty well. But now if you get one of those bent pins, like I think some of the older Gen 3s used to bend pins a lot, you won't get it out with a 3D printed one. You'll have to go get your legit Glock one. But a block for a holder, yeah, I've actually considered making some holders for my safe and stuff like that, to where like display holders and stuff. But as far as anything that attaches to one, I would steer clear of that. I even considered trying to make a holster, but then I'm like, what if it breaks? Too much liability involved in that. So I'm gonna keep letting Black Hawk make them. But all in all, guys, I appreciate y'all. I mean, I really wasn't expecting 36 people to show up over here. Oh, yeah, Brent. Now, like I said, I've got a buddy that actually makes that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, a couple of nights ago, there may or may not have been one right over there getting the name of a trust put on it. But I've got friends that have been around that type of stuff all day long. He had his paperwork, and there's a regulation to where if you have a trust and you're a builder, where you build your own, the name of the trust has to be on the serialized part somewhere. And he had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, can you put a serial number on this?" And I'm like, "Well, I would think I could." And so, about 6-7 passes later with the 20-watt com marker, and we did just that. So I didn't make a video of it because YouTube don't like that stuff, but it was pretty cool. He was happy. He was very happy. But now, had he told me how much he paid for that thing or how much it was valued at before we did it, we probably wouldn't have done it. But he was very pleased with the results. Yeah, it shows 15.9 now, but I guess that's because I'm so close to 15.9. I'm hoping maybe it was just a glitch in the system, and maybe they'll show back up because, guys, I'm really, really got my heart set on trying to hit 20 by the end of the year. I know that's selfish, but, subscribers is kind of like bling, I guess you could say. It's kind of like, putting rims on your car. It just makes it look cool. But it has wiggled its way into being like milestones for me. And I think I just think I would love to be able to see it hit 20 before the end of the year. And so that is my new goal. That is my New Year's resolution, is to try to be at 20,000 by the end of the year. And it's going well so far. So, maybe I will. X-Tool came out with a honeycomb design for the P2. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, those little bars. I'd have to try that out, see how I liked it. But John, I will tell you this: the D1 can cause kind of a shadowing on a G35. I can verify that, but it's not. You're not going to really notice it unless you're looking for it. So if you're trying to do something that's noticeable, you're not going to touch that parkerization that's on the G35. And the same, it's the same for all of them. But I can verify that I may or may not have put my name on a G35, but you can't really see it that well. I haven't tried the fiber yet, but who knows? Maybe one day. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging with me. It was a lot less boring sitting here watching these machines work, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, had fun, learned something, found something that you were looking for in the case of lasers and equipment. And if you haven't already, go on, jump over and hit that subscribe button for me. That way I can, make my goal of 20,000. Yeah, John. With a diode, I wouldn't do it. You could probably do something with the polymer part, but not with that metal. It just basically makes it less shiny. That's all. That's the only effect you'll get. But anyway, guys, if you hadn't already, hit the button, subscribe. What camera am I going to use on the printer? Brent, I have a Logitech C9 something. It's the same camera that's over here in the laser. I've got one this is the one I used in the live when I went to, tripping over my buttons. It's the same camera I used when I was in Florida. I bought an extra webcam. I'm going to use it for right now. It's a C9 something Logitech. It is on the compatible list for the Sonic Pad. So I'm hoping it works. I did watch, was it Aurora? I think Aurora used the same camera that I have, and it worked. So hopefully it will. You should do lasers Sunday and CNC Wednesday. I have been working with the CNC. I did this really cool. You can't see it from there, but I did a really cool flag with We the People under it. It looks pretty good. I was just kind of playing around with some fonts and depths to try to do a bigger job, but it turned out pretty well. I'm actually liking the little machine for little jobs because it's quiet. It doesn't make a big bunch of mess. I don't have to use chip extraction because it kind of just blows the sawdust off to the side, and I suck it up with the shop vac after it's over. So I'm liking the small one, but guys, I got to get something bigger. So if somebody doesn't hurry up and feel that need, I'm gonna have to order one. But I really don't want to right now. So, but we'll get around to that, Chris. We may try to come up with a CNC. We'll do like CNC Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. Who knows? But when I get retired, we could like have a different live every day. But until I get retired, I do them when I can. So that's why I try not to schedule stuff like this. It's just pop up while I'm out here not doing anything. So, but anyway, guys, check out the button down below. Subscribe, follow. Especially follow the Facebook, please. That Facebook page is stagnant. It's at 2.2 thousand, and I cannot get it to go up. So please, if you have a Facebook, go over there and hit the follow button because that thing is slow. They won't let me do anything as far as monetization on Facebook until I hit 5,000. And I had a Facebook before I had a YouTube, and it's just stuck at like 2.2. So if you can hit me out with that, I'd appreciate it. But till next time, guys, be safe and stay out of trouble. Yeah, stay out of trouble too, especially Brian and some of you others.